Josh, you're no stranger to a big night. I think Ellen Road would always be that number one for you, wouldn't it? For very understandable reasons. But Wembley is absolutely huge, and it's all a far cry from the venue in Dudley, isn't it? Where you won your first title.
Yeah.
Can you believe sometimes? Did you take a moment sometimes to look back and see how far you've come and what this journey's been like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been some career already. Already 15 years deep. When I was won that English title down in Dudley, drove back to Leeds in my wife's Ford Fiesta. I felt like I was a world champion, and I didn't think that I'd ever better that moment. And then you were going to win the Commonwealth, British, and European, all these other belts. Then become Leeds' first male world champion. It's been a hell of a career, but I still feel there's some good days to be had and some good memories to be had. And like doing things like this, it's just as a young professional when I first turned pro at 18, if I'd have been told that you're going to be fighting it here, there, and everywhere, you're going to headline so many shows, you're going to fight 3 stadiums, one of them being the National Stadium, I wouldn't believe them. But it's like. As the years go by, you just get used to it. But I do have to pull myself away, and look back and think, you know what, you're living a dream here. A young Josh Warrington wouldn't have believed, an 18-year-old Josh Warrington wouldn't believe that I got to the stages that I have. So just enjoy it and take it all in, because one day it'll all be over. But whilst there, it's frustrating at times when you just want to focus on fighting, training and stuff like that. But this is somebody else's dream, isn't it?
I mean, the last few years have probably been a bit frustrating because you're unbeaten for a long time, but do you feel like, people are maybe calling time on you a bit early, because it's not like nothing has gone right in the last few years. You had a good win against Martinez, you had a title win against Lopez, the head clash was unfortunate, you were boxing great against Leigh Wood, and then something that can always happen in boxing happened.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't know, mate. I just feel like it's been my whole career. Apart from my fan base who've been behind me, those outside of, or those who were unsure about me, have always opted for, actually, no, he's done, or he's not going to get there, or they've always seen the negative side of me. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe it's because of the fan base, maybe because of me associated with Leeds. I don't know, maybe because of the way I look. I ain't got a clue, but it's just how it's been over the years. I used to care. I don't give a fuck these days. Excuse my French, but it just is. When I got beat by Larry, my first loss of my career, so many people were happy to see that. Or they knew it was going to come, even though we're number one in the world and I'd gone 10 years unbeaten and 30 odd fights. And then, like I say, other fights, head clashes. I wanted to be out there apparently to some pundits or some people. It looks like a rabbit in headlights. I won the fight against Martinez, and then I lost a majority decision against Lopez. One where I carried a lot of mental problems going into there. Like I started real slow, concerned about my jaw and that. And I dominated the latter stages of the fight, and I thought I'd done enough to win, And then, from outside looking in, you wrote off, you finished, you're done. And then, Leigh's been on a good winning streak, and he'd been lost and then come back and he'd put it right against Lara. But I always felt I could still beat him, and no surprise when I were boxing his head off, for 6 rounds of that fight, and then lose my head, get points deducted, and get caught with a very good shot. Credit to Leigh, and that's that. But again, you finished. And it's just same again coming as this one, like you've seen better days. And I'm 33 now and I'm at the last stage of my career, and inactivity it's not been good for me. Not like people who've been out constantly active, but I know there's still something left in there. Otherwise I won't be here. The sport is far too dangerous and far too hard. I've heard people say, he's had one too many hard fights, but then after last fight, you were back to your best. I haven't seen you box that well as since you boxed like Carl Frampton. Like, it's just, you're always judged off your last fight. So for the last 10 months, people looked at Josh Warrington and thought, well, he's lost by knockout, his last one. It's like any other sportsman, they'd have next week or next month to rewrite it wrong, but I've got to wait 10 months. And that's no fault of my own. You know, I wanted the rematch instantly, then I was looking at a third fight with Lara, then I was looking at, I've just been wanting to be out, but for whatever reason, I've not been able to get a fight, and an opportunity is presenting itself. So just like any natural boxer, you want to be out, you want to challenge yourself. So yeah, taking the fight, and I understand there's a hell of a challenge in front of me, but I'll be giving absolutely everything I've got on Saturday night, and I believe it's enough to become a 3-time world champion.